And then you have to start.
Lashonda, you know what just happened?
I see. It's gonna be fun.
Hey, look. This is my first.
You know me. I'll do the same stuff. I do the same stuff. I get it.
Oh my goodness. Hey, look, so welcome everybody to the first episode of the podcast. I am with Lashonda with LRS Organizing, and we're going to bring this episode. We've been talking for about an hour, and it's not even recorded, but I appreciate you. I'm just going to tell you that.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you.
So I'm gonna start again. I'm gonna try to keep this under a good time limit.
Okay, great.
Valuable. So first things first. LRS Organizing. What is LRS Organizing? And Lashonda, who am I speaking with?
So thank you again for having me. I really, really, really appreciate it. This is new to me as well. I am Lashonda. I am the owner and the creator of LRS Organizing, Financial Organizing, and I have also created the Financial Organizing Guide, which is a guide for your money. And the idea behind all of it is to create wealth and to leave wealth to our families.
Perfect. That's you summed it up real quick and concise. So I appreciate you. Get my notes out.
Okay.
Can you tell me what financial organizing is and why is it important for people, everyday people like me and you and our brothers, sisters, uncles, grandmothers? Why is it important for people to know financial organizing?
Of course. So financial organizing is organizing all of your money, organizing every dollar. We're going to look at what you own versus what you owe. We're going to look at if you have the stamina, the money that you're earning to continue to the next month and not have more month than money.
More month than money. Okay, so more month than money. Explain that. Just if that went over people's heads.
So a lot of us, we are guilty of floating our dollars, writing checks from our accounts that aren't getting cashed until after the first. We may write that check and tell the creditor or the place that we're paying. We may ask them to hold the check for a little bit. We may some financial institutions will allow you to overdraft your account at no cost as long as you pay the money back within 30 days. So a lot of us, we are a whole month or two behind, but we've been floating the check because we got direct deposit. We're floating funds.
Yeah, right. So like our grandmother and aunties used to say back in the day, robbing Peter to pay Paul.
That's it. You saying it. That's exactly it.
Okay. So if we have somebody in that particular scenario, what would be a suggestion or what would be advice from somebody of your stature, just to let them know what would be the first thing that they need to be thinking about?
Okay, so with financial organizing, again, we're organizing your finances, your real dollars that you have coming in. So what I would, number one, suggest is that we look at real dollars that you're earning, and then we're going to start taking away. We're going to start subtracting. So if you're making $2,000, but your total expense every month is $2,500, we got to find $600. So we're going to take away the phone, the internet, the eating out, the getting the nails done, the getting the hair done, the constant going to Ross, Marshalls, TJ Maxx. We're going to take those things away for 12 months. 12 months. While you're with me, I'm making you accountable, but we have to subtract the expenses in order to be in a surplus, to be ahead. So that's the first thing. If you if you start with me, we're going to look at the full picture, and we're going to start taking away if you are behind like that, if you are in a deficit every month.
Okay. So how did Lashonda with LRS Organizing get to where she at now? How did this all begin?
Well,
what is your background?
My background is in business administration and accounting. That's my educational background. But life was the best teacher.
I feel like he is this all the time. Like life, nothing's gonna teach you better than
That's it. So
nothing better than what life.
Within my 41 years, soon to be 42 years, I've experienced every facet of poverty or unemployment or robbing Peter to pay Paul, or just being over my head financially and not seeing a way out. Okay. So I also had a family. I had 2 children, had a husband, but had a family to take care of, and I did not have family to fall back on. So I had to get creative in my thinking. I had to start being like, well, I don't want to be homeless. I don't want to be without a vehicle. I don't want to continue this cycle. I don't want to be in poverty. Like, why? So I started with first looking in the mirror, being honest with myself. The second thing I did was I called the creditors. This is my situation. And again, 9 times out of 10, they have a way to help you. So not only did I learn that there are resources out there to help us when we're financially strapped, but I also learned to just trust myself. When you want something, you can have it. But you got to work. You got to do the work, and you have to be determined to not perpetuate or to continue the same cycle. So life brought me to financial organizing. Also burying several family members before we buried Mom in 2019. All the stuff that the government wants, the money.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Let you not have your stuff set up properly, they will take every dime. So I learned throughout my life how to navigate these different things and how to really create real wealth for our children, and also to have a nest egg for ourselves. Because when you have dependent children, you need some money to work with. If the pandemic happens again,
right,
what you gonna do?
Exactly.
So that's how I got started, and that's the message. That's what I'm doing with each and every one of us.
Right. So I found you on
Mm-hmm.
TikTok, right? So we're both on TikTok. We're sharing information. Yes. So what I liked about your story is, you help people start from the beginning, or it may I would say a new beginning for most people, because like everybody, they may have got substantial amount of money and then messed it up by not paying their creditors back. So what you do is you help people, get back on the right track, and then prevent yourself from going back into this situation.
Right.
That's safe to say, right?
That is safe to say. That's 100% correct.
So me personally, like the content you put out on TikTok, so that everybody, if you're watching this video on TikTok, is really lit. So I would advise you to go check her out. But the information that you you put it in, since TikTok has a very short I guess length of time where you the video, so it's like 60 seconds, but the amount of information you give out in those 60 seconds is very powerful. So for a person to know, if they come speaking to you about your particular services, know that you're going to get your full undivided attention, because what you give out on TikTok and other social media platforms is going to be way more than what what I'm saying, they
right.
So when they're coming to you, what would be the first thing they should do? Like, do you have a free consultation or anything of that nature, so they can speak to you when first get started?
Of course. When you see me online, the first thing you're going to do, you're going to go to LRSorganizing.com, and you're going to click book free call. You're going to talk to me, directly to me. You're going to get me, and we're going to discuss what your current financial situation is, which that encompasses what your life looks like right now, and then what you hope to get in the end of it. And that's if you're talking with me every week for a month, maybe 12 months. I still have clients from 2008 that I talk to every month. They still want me to guide them when they decide to do new things. So, or they're buying a house, whatever the situation is, you're getting me. You're getting someone who has experienced this, who has been through every facet of this financial life, and you're not having to figure it out on your own. So you can find comfort in knowing you're going to speak to me. You're not going to just be left with a booklet and the information, but no guidance with it. So you're getting me. So we're going to look at every part of your financial picture.
What all entails in like for financial organizing? Can you like explain? Like I know it may be budgeting, it also may be dealing with your savings accounts.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's different layers to financial organizing.
Right.
So can you name like a few things that
I sure can.
Yeah, people can expect, like, so they can understand, like, okay, well, yeah, I need help with this. I need help with setting up a wheel or whatever the case may be.
Right. So with financial organizing, there are 7 steps or 7 pillars that we address, that we actually look at. So first off is just your mindset, how you think about finances, how you think about money, how you think about how to spend your money, all facets of that. Then we look at you becoming accountable for how your life looks financially today, and then how you want it to look. That's 2. Number 3, you got to know how money works. We're going to come financially literate. And that's looking at your banking, your employer, how they're paying you if you're employed, and taxes and how to avoid taxes.
Okay.
Then we will calculate your net worth. A lot of people, when they get to me, they don't realize that you can really create a nice nest egg with one action, with one vehicle, with a small amount of money. So we're going to look at how to create a net worth for you as well as your family. So then you're making yourself competitive financially against everyone else that's trying to create businesses or borrow money. Then we will look at how credit worthy you are. That's the credit evaluation. You want to be competitive on paper. You want to be able to borrow money when you need to, or you want to look like you can be trusted financially if you're wanting to go into something as a partner with someone. You don't have to put any money up, but you got to have a solid financial portfolio. So we're going to look at your credit. Next, we're going to look at, how do I get this money? I'm working a regular 9 to 5. Yes, I made $50,000 to $100,000 a year, but I don't really know where to put the money. I'm kind of paycheck to paycheck. We're going to look at wealth generating assets, and we're going to start putting monies over there. That's the way you do it. Investing is the key. There's no other way. You have never heard of someone being an employee and becoming a wealthy individual. They never end up on Forbes. They never do. So, and lastly, after we look at all of those things, the 7th thing, the last thing that encompasses all of this, is your full estate plan. Your full estate plan. I'm with you the entire way. Yes, there are 7 things or 7 pillars that we have to address, but I'm with you addressing each of those things, those 7 steps. And lastly, you get to go home and finish this out with a full estate plan.
Okay. Now, estate plan. Now, I'm familiar with estate plan.
Okay.
So for a person that doesn't know what an estate is, can you just give them a brief, just explain it just real quick?
I sure can. So at the end of this process with financial organizing, you're going to get the beginnings of your estate, the things that you need in place in case life happens. You're going to have a power of attorney. which is appointing someone that you trust to use your dollars for you and your family. That's what it is. Giving them power to move your money. Then you're going to get a will. The will says, this is how I want things to be done after I pass away. The third thing you're going to acquire is whole life insurance. The actual vehicle, the actual life insurance policy that you get is going to be determined off of the individual or the family situation, but you cannot continue without a life insurance policy of some sort. Ultimately, you want a full estate. That estate has to include a life insurance policy. Right. Over here with the asterisk is that trust. The trust is going to encompass or hold all of that. I won't speak to that because that is beyond my scope of knowledge, but I will put you in contact with the individuals that can help you set that up.
Meaning the trust?
The trust itself, yes.
Okay. That's amazing. Just because people need to know, all these vehicles. Now, one of the vehicles you just touched on is whole life insurance. And,
yes.
A lot of people are familiar just with term life, but this is basically that. I would say they two different things. You know what I'm saying?
They are
on total different level planes.
They are.
Just to give people a quick understanding of what whole life is, because it's like an investment vehicle. But I want you to say or explain what that would help them with.
Okay.
Why is it important to have that?
Okay. Of course. Thank you for asking that question too. Life insurance itself is to help your family pay for things after you die. That's life insurance. But now we know that we may need funds or money while we're alive. And we may need lump sums that we can't go get from the bank because our credit profile isn't up to par. Or we don't have a credit profile because you didn't learn that I need revolving credit. I do everything with cash. Right. So I don't have a credit profile.
Yeah.
So you want to invest in whole life insurance. That encompasses death benefit and living benefit. 2 arms. Versus the term life insurance, which typically is geared toward individuals that want that big lump sum of money after they pass away. But it does not give you the living benefits. So you want to, while you're younger, 45, 50 and younger,
right,
you want to put your money into a policy that has the attached component of building what's called cash value, where you can pull money from that. It's a lot of terms and jargon in life insurance, but you ultimately want to have a whole life insurance policy and not term life. Term is for people that don't have any money and they're older. That's it.
Right. Okay. So is it hard to obtain, whole life insurance, or is it a big down payment, or, is it for the average person, if they want to get into that, do they got to have like $10,000 in order to do this, or is it obtainable for a regular person that has, making $2,500 a month at their job and be able to allocate maybe $200 toward this particular investment vehicle, which is whole life insurance? Is that possible for a person to do?
It is 100% possible.
Okay.
If you are making as little as $2,000, $2,500 a month, all you need is $100, $75. I wouldn't say as little as 50, because what your objective is you're starting to create a nest egg. So you need some money to do that. But you can start with as little as $75 to $100. Your death benefit, your policy value may only be 50,000. The sooner you get started, and those are just phantom numbers. That's not real life.
Right.
Everybody's situation is different, but you can have a really good nest egg if you're able to put aside that $75 to $100 a month the younger you are. Even when you get to midlife, as they call it, 45, man, go out there and start putting every extra penny into a whole life insurance policy. There are other life insurance policies that you can get into, but you would want to get with me, and I'm gonna talk to you on the phone, and we're gonna get that broker on the phone. We're gonna look at your specific situation and get a policy that's gonna create wealth for you, and not just the death benefit.
Right. Okay. That's exactly what people need to hear, as far as, because money is, I ain't gonna say it's taboo, but people are, they need to know how to make this money and make the money work for you.
That's it.
Because if you're just working a job, like we're just talking about before, if you're just working a job, you can't expect to have you could have multi-millions, but it's not going to be like a generational thing, right?
Correct.
Growth thing.
Correct.
So what do you think, what are some common mistakes people make when it comes to like financial organizing in general? Like people, like an everyday person that has come to you that needs your services. Like
the common mistake is thinking that you know it, thinking that you know how money works. And I got my money in my 401k. I got my money in my IRA. We see what the economy is doing, and those are not the best instruments or vehicles to invest your money in. So what I commonly see is that people have these things through their employers. Even from like Starbucks workers, retail workers to, corporate blue collar 6-figure earners, they have these vehicles in place, but they don't realize that they're losing money if the economy is upside down. So that mistake of just thinking that you got it made because you got money over there, that's a mistake. That's not the way to think about it. Secondly, the idea that you're going to continue doing the same thing and create something different. If you are an employee, you're not going to be wealthy. You have to be the boss. You have to be an owner. You have to be the lender and not the borrower. You have to be able to lend from your own capital and not the bank. The third thing that I see is that people think that once I tell them this is the vehicle that's going to work for you as far as investing, they're like, shoot, I'm going to have $1 million at the end of this year.
not knowing that they got to put the work.
Yeah. They see the numbers and they see the bigger numbers down the road, and they think, well, shoot, if I just let that money sit there, it's gonna be right. But this is a ongoing process. This is something where you have to be disciplined. But in as little as 6 to 12 months, you can really see a turnaround financially for you and your family.
So if, say I'm watching this episode right now and I don't have a job, right? I'm unemployed at this moment. And I'm like, oh shit, I got some bills that's on my credit right now, but I really need to talk to Lashonda to get my, I want to get myself together. So by 2024, right, I can go purchase my home and things like that. So for that person that's watching this episode right now, thinking like, oh, I'm really in a messed up position.
Right.
But there's a but to it. I want to get my situation together. What are they able to, come to you and get your services, and then what would be the steps that you would do to help that particular client out?
Okay, so for an individual who is unemployed, they don't have any income and their credit is not up to par, the first thing we're going to do, we're going to look at your indebtedness. We're going to look at what is over your head financially. Who's calling your phone? Those creditors.
Right.
And we're going to contact them and find out if they have any resources available for you so that you can postpone payment. It can be forgiven. It can be, they can grant you funds for those things. A lot of our utility companies offer resources to help you get away from under a enormous utility bill. You just got to call them and let them know what your situation is. We're going to do that first. Then we're going to get you making some money. We got to get you a new resume. We got to, a lot of times too, this is something, just a side note. I've noticed that a lot of people don't know how to fill out applications. They don't understand the jargon. So I'm going to help you with all that. Sometimes it can be a little intimidating because you haven't been out looking for a job for so long. So you're just like, I don't want to do this, or you're just fearful to even take that first step. So we're going to look at what you have that's indebtedness. Then we're going to help you earn some money. We got to get you another job. I'm not going to suggest, hey, let's go out here and start this business. You got to have money to make money. So you got to be an employee for a little while. But that's part of the plan. That's part of this game. We got to start hustling. We got to make this thing work. So we want to take you. We don't want to put you, if you got laid off or fired as a retail worker making $10 an hour, we're going to get you to $20 an hour, at least. At least. So we're going to do your resume, your cover letter, your career portfolio. You and I are going to do some mock interviews. I'm going to have you talk through your resume that we created so that you have a good footing. You can talk about yourself clearly, go through those bullets on that resume and land that job so you can have money coming in. And that's the least of your worries. With that, the last thing, there are grant monies out there that the government offers, that your county offers, your city offers. If you have these bills that's over your head, they can help you. We just got to find the resources. A lot of time it's a quick Google search. It's a quick phone call. You have to apply and let people know that you are in that situation. We got to gather some paperwork to identify who you are. And we're going to submit that paperwork and get those funds to you, or get those resources in your hands.
Whoa. So you said all this can be done with a person that doesn't have any type of employment or any money at this point in time right now?
Yep. And I say that, let me add this. I say that because if you are in that situation, I'm going to teach you how to take the knowledge that you're learning with me and create a source of income for yourself. If you just learn how to get on the phone with one of these utility companies, who says you can't help somebody else do it for a $50 fee?
Oh, okay. I see where you're going. Yeah, I see where
Who says you can't put a little note on your social media? Or if you are a church member, if you are part of any club, most people still go out, they still commune in the world. You see somebody that might need help, or you overhear it. Hey, I know how to get in contact with such and such. You charging them $20, whatever it is, you now have an additional source of income. So it ain't, yes, I have, this is a business, this is a company. Yes, I have expenses, but the idea is to get us out of poverty. If I refuse you, I ultimately continue that poverty-stricken, the impoverishment of our people. And we want to erase that. So you're going to pass it along. Once you learn it, once I teach you, I show you, you're coachable, you're just going to pass it on. You create a business that ultimately helps our economy. It helps us all. So yeah, it's fine.
Okay. That's the key word. Like one of the words that you just said was coachable. So when a person is coming to you, what I'm gathering from being coachable, what you just said is you have to be willing to listen and to follow directions to comprehend what she's saying.
Yes.
People can receive information, but they don't know how to process it.
Correct.
Meaning that you have to listen and apply things.
That's it.
Applying things.
Right.
Okay. Now, I'm going to go basically like the total opposite, right? You said, why I asked the question about somebody being unemployed. So person that's maybe employed and then they may have a couple side businesses, so they have a couple layers to this situation. How would you, I know they had to go through the discovery call, but what would be the best scenario for them? Even though each case, I know each case is different, so just give us a general idea.
Okay, so
some a little complicated.
You're an individual. You come to me and you have the money. You're not necessarily broke or impoverished, but you're not clearing an abundance. You're not clearing a surplus every month. So what we're going to do is assess the whole picture. And also another facet to this is to protect those dollars and to make them less susceptible to taxes and fees. So we're going to look at that, your specific situation as far as taxes and what you're liable for that you really can't control as far as what you have to pay out, your business overhead. Those types of things we have to evaluate on an individual basis. And then the goal is to protect you from that legally.
Okay.
Legally.
Yeah.
So there are vehicles, there are places to house dollars, so they're less susceptible to taxes, but you just have to do it right. And it is an individual, it's case by case. We just want to make sure we're protecting those dollars. So you're not just breaking even, but you have a surplus every month, every quarter, and annually.
So Lashonda, I'm understanding you're basically teaching or sharing with people how to master their money, right? So what I think is so dope about this situation is this is not just for older people like me. I'm 47.
Okay.
41. But this can apply to somebody that's younger, right? Which is
correct.
18-year-old fresh out of high school, but they want to be going on that right path as soon as they get out, so they won't be in or get those bumps and bruises that I know I witnessed in my lifetime. So
me too.
So first, I'm not gonna say first, but how can people reach out to you? I didn't get that out. So how can people reach out to you if they need your services?
Okay, well,
recall and things.
If you want to get in contact with me, you can easily go to LRSorganizing.com, and there is a button on the very front screen that says book a free call. You're just going to book a call there, and you are going to talk directly to me. To me. I do have a line, but I would rather you talk to me. You can call at 770-285-5281. But that will you have to leave a voicemail, and then I can get in contact with you. But I would rather you go ahead and book that discovery call so we can go ahead and get on that phone and you're talking directly to me. You don't have to wait on me to check messages. If you book it, we're talking. So that's how you get in contact with me at LRSorganizing.com.
Okay. Now so ideal person that's wanting to get started right now, you're going to tell them to book a 15-minute consultation. Okay. Now, any information that you would like to share with people as far as financial organizing go that they might not know? Meaning there's something about your finances that you didn't think about that may come up that you should evaluate.
Yes, that thing is a lot of times you have access or you have money that you didn't realize you had. You actually do have more money than you think you have. A lot of us bank with financial institutions that will pay you to let your money sit there. If you are not getting a dividend or interest is not being added to the money that you have sitting in a bank account, you need to move that money. Everyone needs to have a free checking account or a high yield savings account that pays you for your money to sit there. In addition to that, that's one way to uncover monies that's there. It's just there. You don't have to make no extra money. You also want to contact all of those companies that you're paying every month, your utility companies specifically. They a lot of times will pay you or give you a little bit back if you just go paperless. if you just go paperless, if you sign up for their email, if you sign up for their monthly newsletter, if you discuss or tag them on your social media, they will give you a discount, a coupon for something, free tickets to a game. Money is there. Also, the other thing that this is something that we really don't look at. A lot of us are plagued with the idea of having to pay for our children, paying for their college, their education. There are so many free resources for college level courses. Free. Again, you have to talk to me and you have to look for it, but that's one of those things that we're daunted with. We want our kids to go to college and get that education, but where is the money going to come from? You can be a regular worker. I'm talking about a regular 9 to 5, you making maybe $13 to $18 an hour. Your children can go to school. You don't have to, we're not making no extra money. This is my current situation. This is you saying, this is my current situation. I make $13, $18 an hour. Your children can go to school and get at least associates. It's a little bit more to do if you're going for a bachelor's and master's, but you can get out of there with paying about $3,000 to $5,000.
And they can obtain their associate's degree with that?
Their associates to their bachelor's degree. Oh. There are also, and I'm speaking from my own situation to the homeschool dad. I homeschool my children as well. And I might have spent $2,000 for 2 children. So again, we're talking about going after the resources that are there. There are grants there. There's money there that you can uncover if you just look. The organizing component, you're organizing your finances. Most of us we don't want to work no more, but we need capital. Right. So how I'm gonna get it? So you have to start being creative. You got to get out of what you think you know and start being like, okay, let me just call them and see what they got to offer. Let me look over here and see if the state of Georgia, the state of Michigan is allowing grants for kids that go into certain fields of study. Let me see if my job will pay for further education. Literally, the money we spent for homeschool was because I didn't know. That's it.
Right. Absolutely.
It's because I didn't know.
Right.
But there really are ways to uncover money. And like I said from the start, there is money there. You just didn't realize you had it. And if you invest a little bit, say for instance, the pandemic happens again, and you was just keeping the change or saving the change for the last 5 to 10 years. You got a whole month of income just sitting in the bank. You got 30 days to go get you another job, or to make another, with all the things that I've told you, to make another $2,500 to $3,000. You just got to think. You got to think. So, exactly. Yeah.
You just dropped a lot of jewels in that one span of 3 minutes. So basically, there's so many pockets of resources, I would say, that's obtainable. It's just all about just doing some research and getting organized, because all this falls up on the financial organizing, right?
Correct.
And like I said, I'm telling you, this is mind blowing to me, because like I said, nobody used to talk about this back in the days, right? So for me to be able to have you come on and share that information, which is I think this is like the first of my time of learning this information.
Yes.
The way you unpacked that, didn't know that there was grants and things like that available for people. Basically, like the first scenario we talk about, somebody being unemployed, they can find resources. So, are there any risk, with dealing with uncovering your financial, I guess, organizing? Is there any risk involved in getting yourself into this?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah, there are risks. The risk is that vulnerability that we don't expose, being vulnerable and being honest. Because tangibly, like a money risk, I wouldn't do that to anybody. I wouldn't have you put money somewhere and it's risky. I wouldn't do that. But every day there are risks. The internal, the spiritual component of it is you have to really dig deep and say, hey, I'm gonna open up to this because I don't have a choice. My financial situation is really messed up and I have to trust Lashonda. I have to trust what she's saying. I'm not doing anything behind your back. The other difference between me and what's called a financial advisor or planner, I'm not taking a percentage of your full estate every year or every quarter. I'm not doing that.
Okay.
It's a fee based off of your situation. It's a fee that you pay me monthly.
Okay.
Then I'm going to help you create that wealth generating, that income that you have coming in from just changing the way you look at it, just changing the way we look at money, getting out of that old way of thinking where it's like, I gotta work and I'm gonna keep working. I'm gonna encourage the kids to work. We want to just get out of that. It's just being vulnerable and being able to surrender to the information. That's it. That's the only risk, really.
So I ain't gonna say it's not no risk at all, but yeah, that sounds like they don't have too much.
No.
Okay, so that's good to that people are able to come in, and be more transparent with you because basically you're gonna unveil it anyways. You gotta strip them down to the bone.
Yeah.
In order for them to, to get dressed back up. So
yeah,
they gotta be willing to, expose, their situation. Don't be ashamed of it.
That's it.
We all. I remember one time I was looking at my credit score. That thing told me 514. I was. Hey, look, and then you try to go to a car dealership, and they want you to put all these crazy money down. So so basically understanding money, understanding how money works, because money is a two-way street, right?
It is
current. So
currency.
You got to put. That's why it's called currency.
Yes.
You got to put that money out there in rotation so it can go do its thing. Bring you back. Twofold. So with that being said, you have you said you were married and you have kids. So are the kids old enough to learn, this part of finances?
Yes.
Since you are homeschooling, you teach this as well.
Yes. My kids are legally adults now.
Okay.
So yes, part of their homeschool curriculum was finance. So they had to learn how to budget, how to set up a bank account, checking accounts, how to write a check, and all of that stuff. Yes. It's ongoing. It's not something that you take a course and it's over with. There are so many different nuances to finance and to our economy. It's ongoing. It's something new every day. They didn't have to buy their first vehicles, but now, when you're a teenager, you want a new car.
Yeah, right.
So now we're in that process of looking at whether you're investing in an asset or a liability. It's one thing to see it written on paper. It's another thing when you're using your money. Yeah. and you're having to evaluate, is this going to be an asset for me or income producing, or is this going to be a liability where I'm losing money? So that's the stage that they're in now. And also investing in real estate. You really lit a fire under me when I got in contact with you or we found each other on TikTok.
Right.
I was like, he out here doing it. I need to get on it. And again, it's intimidating, but I mean, you was just so easy with it. I was like, well, Don't be scared no more. He telling you what to do. So I'm now I have a little bit more faith in myself. And I'm like, okay, kids, we're gonna sit down, we're gonna watch his videos, and we're gonna get started.
Thank you. I'm glad it sparked, some interest. I really, besides like finances, this is the reason why I wanted to get you on the platform today, because you handled the money aspect, and even though real estate is another vehicle in that, but that person has to know like the principles of how, what I'm saying, getting your money together. And then let's talk about budget. Like, okay, so how does that budget, thing go? As far as like, if a person, what do they need to know as far as budget go when it comes to like your everyday monthly, I guess, expenses? How does that help a person? Because I know in this particular field, financial organizing, they're going to need to know like, okay, I need to sit down, and I know Hulu costs $8.99, so can you explain that, for a person?
With budgeting, with financial organizing and that budgeting aspect of it, my goal is to get you at least 3 months ahead of your monthly expenses. Okay. So with that budget, the real numbers being put on paper, where you're looking at your total amount of income every month in a 3-4 week period to what you have to pay out every month, those fixed expenses, we're really comparing whether or not you're even in a position to continue to live like you're living. That's budgeting. So again, 99.9% of the time, we're floating cash or we're floating fictitious numbers in our bank account.
Right.
And we really truly don't know if we're making enough money to live monthly. So we are, just because I can pay the monthly payment, I'm like, oh, I'm good. I don't need the budget. I can pay the monthly payment. I can keep Hulu and Netflix and Peacock because I can pay for it. Right. However, when you add that up over a 6 to 12 month period, those are the funds that you can use toward your investment, toward that whole life insurance policy. So we're not necessarily budgeting. It's like you need to be at least 3 months ahead of your life, truly. So that's the budget. How do I take away from the beginning? When I first start financial organizing, how do I subtract some of these expenses so that I can put in a interest-bearing account 3 months of my expenses? So if your expenses total $2,000 a month, you want to have $9,000 sitting in the bank, earning interest for you.
Okay.
That's it.
So discipline is what I'm hearing. So if a person has, well, like we said, Netflix and that morning Starbucks coffee, if they eliminate that for the 12 months, then they can put this into another vehicle that's going to make some money, as opposed to you using this leisure, we call it.
Right.
If you plan on, wanting to go to what we call the next level is people.
That's it. That's it. It's easy. It's not rocket science. This isn't something, like I said, you're not coming up with more money. You're using what you have. We're going to uncover where those dollars are. And you're, like you said, being disciplined. You're only disciplining yourself for a period, for a season. Once we do something for at least, a lot of times people say 21 days, I say 41. You do it for 41 days, it's second nature. You don't have to think about it anymore. I'm not missing the $25 I'm not spending on Starbucks because I'm not doing that anymore. So yeah.
I like the way you explained that. Yeah, because that makes it. Discipline is going to be the key as far as if you want to change your, if you want to master money.
That's it.
Man, money, like I said, is a currency, so you have to know how to make it work for you.
That's it. Work in your favor.
Yeah. So, like I said, I love your content on TikTok.
Thank you.
It's amazing.
Thank you.
Herb, can you please share with people your ways that they can contact you, whether it's social media and your website?
Of course, yes. I am across all social media platforms with the exception of maybe Snapchat, I guess. At LRS Organizing. You can find me at lrsorganizing.com. That's how you find me. My name is Lashonda. When you click on any social media platform, you'll see my face.
Okay.
So that's how you'll find me. That's LRS Organizing, not IRS. I wish I was getting that money.
Right.
But it's LRS Organizing.
Okay. So thank you for coming on. I would like to bring you on again as well.
Of course.
I want to, if you can, to leave a few words of wisdom to people as far as mastering their money. What can you give them 7 principles that you think that would be beneficial for them to leave with? Or 7. A few principles. You don't have to say 7.
Okay.
A few principles.
Okay, I sure can. Before I depart, I want to impress upon you these 3 things. We are typically born into poverty. We're typically born into situations where there is no silver spoon, there is no bank account, there is no wealth for us. What are you going to do for your children? The second thing, when you know better, you have to do better. You've heard what we've said on this podcast. You've listened to every word that was coming out of our mouths. But if you do not put into action what you heard, nothing's going to change. Nothing. The third thing, you have to be honest with yourself. Take a real hard look in the mirror at you. Look yourself eye to eye and say, how do I want my life to look in 2024? Do I want it to still look like it was when I was crying and begging, robbing Peter to pay Paul? Or do I want the trajectory of my life and the life of my family, my kids, to be different? Do I truly want to leave a name for myself and a legacy? That's it.
Well, thank you. Because they say the definition of insanity is
doing the same thing. Expecting something different.
So yeah, I would say I'm going to co-sign exactly what she said for the 3 principles. This has been a pleasure, even though we heard the hiccup in the beginning because I didn't know about the button. So, like I said, I appreciate you coming on and sharing.
I appreciate you.
Insight.
Thank you.
I look forward to seeing more of your content and with your. I guess with your grace, hopefully you come back on the platform and we can do this again and share some more information.
I sure will. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And keep up what you're doing. I am so fascinated and intrigued. I will be in contact with you in reference to all of what you got going on because that's beyond me. I don't know nothing about it. So
likewise, that's why I asked the question about the multi-layer.
I got you.
Got a few things going on that needs some assistance with.
Okay.
So I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lashonda. You have a wonderful night.
All right. You as well. Thank you.